That's the way we do it here. Van Morrison. So are we broadcasting or?
No.
No, not at all. Okay.
He's going to try to put us on Facebook.
Okay, excellent. So it's just us today. The important people are all here. I wouldn't say that if the Zoom line was on, but so we need to be as enthusiastic and as spiritual for 3 times the number of people that we would normally have. So welcome to I am more than willing to just sit down. This is great.
We'll do our Led Zeppelin medley.
Okay. Alrighty, so sorry for the, well, I'm apologizing to the Zoom folks, like they can hear me right now. When I was in radio many, many years ago, I was working at a radio station in Bakersfield and our transmitter went down. And whenever the transmitter would go down, you would get, people would be trying to figure out, well, where's the radio station? And I remember being on the air while they were trying to fix the station, we were off the air and somebody calls and he goes, I can't get your radio station. I said, yes, I realize that that's because our transmitter is off the air. And he said, well, it would help if you told everybody, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess I would. So, Zoom people, we're sorry we're not here. Alrighty, so let's welcome home. We are glad you are here, whether you are here in person, in spirit, or trying to log on during Zoom. Let's go ahead and move forward. And we will all say together and then turn to somebody else in the room and say the bottom half here. We are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. And turn to somebody else in the room and say, I honor the path that brought you here this morning. And our in-house attendance, as you can see, is a little bit low. So I did want to address the elephant in the room. 2 of our members of our congregation have been diagnosed as COVID positive. So what I would like to do is just take a moment, not only for them, they are okay, that they are staying home, not only to surround them in love and in healing light, but for all of us to take a take a moment and just send out love and healing light to everybody who has been affected not only by COVID, but who is hurting, is sick, is not feeling up to who they really are. So we'll just take a moment and send that out, knowing that it is making a difference.
The second time, almost there.
Okay. Let us move forward. Our announcements for the week, pretty much our standard ones. Oh dear, too much stuff around my neck. Let's see here. You can just see it on the screen, so I don't need to go through all of that. We do have an Easter bookstore special that is going on right now. Most faded cover books are 25% off, so swing by. You can't judge a book by the cover, and if the book cover is faded, it doesn't make any difference about what's inside, but you can save 25% for that. Moving forward, speaking of books, the Writers Studio continues. Lorna will be hosting the next session on Tuesday. That's this coming Tuesday from 4 to 5. Our link, as always, if you go to Eureka CenterForSpiritualLiving.com, it will redirect you to our Zoom link. You can also, of course, go to EurekaUkiahCSL.com. It will take you to the same place. This coming Wednesday, we are having a visioning statement led by the Center Council President, Rick St. Charles. That'll be from 7 to 9 on Zoom. This center is ours, and the more we get involved, the more the center reflects what it is that we feel. So 7 to 9, please be there. There will be a Michael Beckwith recording first, and then after that, Rick will lead us in a visioning statement. All of these people who were supposed to be here but cannot be here today, I'm speaking for all of them. Heidi Collingwood is doing, starting the last Saturday of this month, which will be this coming Saturday, a 4-month series, once a month in person, about prime time health. She spoke about it last week. As I see, we are diligently trying to get on Zoom over there. If we do get on Zoom, hopefully she'll be able to talk a little bit more. Plant sale, May 7th, that is 2 weeks from now. Believe it or not, we will be in May. What's that old joke? April showers bring May flowers, and May flowers bring pilgrims. Sorry. Anyway, we will be having the plant sale. If you can donate to it in time, energy, or in any other fashion, please talk to Catherine, also referred to as Walk and All, or let Angelica know, or Lori had also asked me to make an announcement about this. And our little pantry, it needs to be fed so we can feed the rest of the community. I was thinking a great idea when we come on Sundays is just bring a can of food, or a little bit of food, and we just put it right into the little pantry. One more way to support our community. And finally, I don't know whether, Angelica is working with Marvin over here. Did you wish to speak to this?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Here it is right
It's a little known fact that Ernest Holmes' Sermon by the Sea almost didn't take place because they couldn't get an internet connection.
here. This is,
Did you want to come up? Well, I guess we're not broadcasting, so you can speak from wherever you damn well want.
this is not a new class, but it's going to be a new one for us. I've taught it once before here, so, but it's spiritual principles and practices, and it's about meditation and treatment and all the different things that we teach here to help us get into more of a spiritual place. So this class is going to start Thursday the Thursday after next, from 10 to noon on Zoom, and I'm kind of excited about it. I like teaching classes, so let me know if you'd like to join in.
Alrighty. Continuing forward, our theme for the month, this last time for this slide, is creativity. And we will move forward with the contemplative meditation. All right, so I am the future, FP stands for future practitioner. That's what that stands for. In about 2 months, it will no longer say that. It will say RSCP, which I'm very excited about. That's will Les and Edward, who's not here today. Okay, so our contemplative meditation today, and the way it'll work is I'm going to read a short piece from Ernest Holmes' Creative Mind and Success. We will think about it for a moment. Jackson will do some music. I will then do a treatment, and Jackson will do some music again, and then Angelica will come up and speak. So, from Creative Mind and Success by Ernest Holmes. Words and affirmations simply give shape to thought. They are not creative. Feeling is creative, and the more feeling that is put into the word, the greater power it will have on the conditions. In doing this, we think of the condition only as an effect, something that follows what we think. It cannot help following our thought.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful.
And I am so grateful for the fact that the universe is infinitely creative, that from the universal mind comes all things beyond anything we can possibly imagine. It exists entirely to create. We are all creations of this universe, as is every thought, every piece of art, every philosophy, every building, anything that has ever been created has come from the universal mind, triggered by two words: what if? And what if we are more than we could possibly imagine? And I know that although I cannot necessarily accept and bring all of that within me, it is true. And I am grateful for everything that I can be, and speaking in the first person for all of us who are here, I am grateful that all that I will be, and every experience that I have, and I back that with love and with the emotion of knowing that it is manifesting at an amazing level, going beyond all thought and into pure feeling. And for these feelings and this creativity, I again give thanks and release it into the universal law, into the law of mind, knowing that it is already being created. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, Jackson. And we turn it over to Reverend Angelica with Boldly Go.
Well, we believe that Marvin's got us back on Zoom. If not, he's recording it, so it will be up on our Facebook, etc. later. Take a breath with me so I can let go of all this energy. You know, when I first saw this, the name of the talk that they suggested for this week, Boldly Go, my mind went to, of course, this. And this says, space, the final frontier. There are voyages of the Starship Enterprise. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. And boy, we've all been doing this over the last couple of years, haven't we? Seeking out new worlds, because this one changed itself. And boldly going where no one has gone before. I know that when I got into learning about Zoom, that was a brand new thing. You know, and it's still a learning process because they're constantly changing the program, much less having to deal with internet situations, etc. And I don't know why my computer didn't. It connected at first and then it dropped out, couldn't get it back again. It's like, wow, what's going on? But this idea of boldly going, you know, most of us are a certain age, and Susan read this quote this morning in the meditation, but I'm going to read it to you again. It's from Brene Brown. She says, midlife is when the universe gently places her hands upon your shoulders, pulls you close, and whispers in your ear, I'm not screwing around. All of this pretending and performing, these coping mechanisms that you've developed to protect yourself from feeling inadequate and getting hurt has to go. Your armor is preventing you from growing into your gifts. I understand that you needed these protections when you were small. I understand that you believed your armor would help you secure all of the things you needed to feel worthy and lovable, but you're still searching and you're more lost than ever. Time is growing short. There are unexplored adventures ahead of you. You can't live the rest of your life worried about what other people think. You were born worthy of love and belonging. Courage and daring are coursing through your veins. You were made to live and love with your whole heart. It's time to show up and be seen. It's time to show up and be seen. You know, all this month we've been focusing on the idea of creativity, and we've talked about it in a lot of different ways. And one of the things I know is that we have to remember that we are creative all the time. Anyway, there's that within us that is creative. And so here's two lovely quotes I like. Mary Oliver says, "What is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" What is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? And then Helen Keller said, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing." And you know, I think that I must have read this Helen Keller one a long time ago, because I have considered my life for many, many years to be a spiritual adventure. And it has taken me to global power spots around the world. It has, you know, led me to different places to live, to serve churches. It's helped me meet hundreds of people and be a part of their lives. And so, so that idea of being on a spiritual adventure, it's almost like I'm like, uh-oh, what's happening next, you know? But not with a sense of dread, a sense of excitement. Dr. Holmes says, "We must consciously know that we can use creative power. The more complete such acceptance on our part, the more completely we shall be able to use this power for definite purposes." And we talk about this every week, the fact that there's a power within us, that is our life force, that is allowing us to move forward, that is helping us move forward, that is helping us think of new ideas, etc., and to recognize that it is done unto us as we believe, that this power is working according to our beliefs. And so all we have to do is change our beliefs if something isn't happening the way we would like it to be in our lives. So we need to open our hearts, change our beliefs, and know that this power that is within us will do the work for us. You know, I think I said one Sunday that this is like a lazy person's religion, if you want to call it a religion, because we can do this. We can sit back on our laurels and declare that we want something in our experience, and if we believe it, we truly believe it, it'll just come to us. And yet, the work that we have to do is in our minds. Deepak Chopra says, "Relinquish your attachment to the known. Step into the unknown, and you will step into the field of all possibilities. You will have excitement, adventure, mystery. You will experience the fun of life, the magic, the celebration, the acceleration, and the exaltation of your own spirit." Releasing our attachment to the known. You know, there's part of the race consciousness right now that I wish would stop talking about, oh, we want it to go back the way it was. You know, life was so much better the way it was. And yet, if you were able to time jump right back into that old time, you would find the same old problems there. You know, it wasn't any better. In fact, you know, I believe that the further we come along, the better our life gets. But I love this idea about having excitement and adventure and mystery. magic, celebration, all of that. But in order to do that, we need to let go of what was. So, Dr. Holmes also says, our highest satisfaction comes from a sense of conscious union with this invisible life, finding such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes. Finding an inward wholeness so that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes. What a wonderful place that would be if all fear, doubt, and uncertainty just vanished, wouldn't it? That would be great. So, I thought about this idea of boldly going into the rest of our lives, and we have the opportunity, as I just said, to create what we want to create. So I have some questions for you. So I want you to close your eyes. And here's some ideas, some questions for you to contemplate. What do you do naturally that you love and always think about doing? What do you do naturally that you love and always think about doing? Maybe it's being outdoors. Maybe it's reading the latest novel. Maybe it's learning new things. Playing in your garden. Collecting things. What do you do naturally that you love and always think about doing? So take a breath. The next question. Where do you lose yourself in an experience? In other words, what causes you to lose track of time? Where do you lose yourself in an experience? Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's writing or painting. Maybe it's going into your kitchen and creating something from nothing. Maybe it's playing with your grandchildren or your pets. Where do you lose yourself in an experience? And take another breath. Next question. Where are you the most at home in your own skin? Where are you the most at home in your own skin? Maybe it's hiking or fishing or laying on the sand at the beach. Where are you the most at home in your own skin? And again, take a breath. And my last question for you. What is the one thing that makes your heart sing more than anything else in the world?
is the one thing that makes your heart sing more than anything else in the world? It might be singing. It might be visiting art museums. Maybe it's social justice work. Volunteering in an animal shelter. What is the one thing that makes your heart sing more than anything else in the world? And now look back over the results to those 4 questions. And see if there's a golden thread that moves through all of them. Maybe it was the same answer for everything. Maybe it wasn't. But in some way, these questions are connected. Knowing what we love to do, knowing what gives us that feeling of sacred connection, sacred self-awareness, has pointed us in the direction for our next adventure, our next spiritual adventure. What I know at bottom line is that our purpose is love. So we have to love ourselves, we have to love what we're doing. Or maybe it's not a have to, we get to. As Dr. Holmes says in this statement again, our highest satisfaction comes from a sense of conscious union with this invisible life, finding such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes. So I have 4 ideas for you. One is to, these are all quotes from different people that I've found about being bold. So Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, says, go boldly and honestly through the world. Learn to love the fact that there's nobody else quite like you. Just like those things, the answers that you gave to those 4 questions. There's nobody else that can do that makes your heart sing quite like you do. Ralph Marston says, go ahead and face that fear. Boldly face life, and you'll find it to be better than you ever imagined. I know that when I got into the ministry, I'd been into various types and forms of religion, so to speak. I tried so many as a young person. And nothing really fed me until I got into Wiccan, which really fed me because it was earth-centered and it was creative and it made me feel more powerful. And then I sort of got away from that a bit, the real active pursuit of it, and discovered religious science. Actually, I've told you all before, my cleaning lady told me, oh, you sound just like this lady minister on TV, and I went, no, not me. And one Sunday morning I got up, made my coffee, pushed the button on my TV so I could watch some old movie or something, and there was Terry Cole Whitaker. And from that point on, my life changed. Because my legs went out from under me, and I ended up sitting on the floor in front of the TV, and this voice in my head said, you could do this. You could do this. And I kept thinking, yeah, right. You could do this. And when I think about my life and the 40 years that I've been in ministry, was studying and in ministry, I have found it to be better than I could have ever imagined. I mean, who knew I'd get to go and sit next to the Dalai Lama at a lunch in India? Who knew that I got to give Mrs. Anwar Sadat an award from our organization? You know, that young woman before would have just, there's no way, none of this is possible. But I did it. And I stepped boldly out. Norman Vincent Peale tells us, be bold enough and daring enough to believe in the abundant good that has been prepared for you. Be bold enough and daring enough to believe in the abundant good that has been prepared for you. You know, the first trip I took out of the United States, I wanted to go to Egypt so badly. I have felt since I was a child that I had a connection with Egypt. And I wanted to go so badly, and I had started the church in Hawaii, and I got this flyer saying that there was going to be a conference called Personal and Planetary Spiritual Evolution, and the first one was going to be in Egypt, and it's like, oh my God, I want to go. Oh shit, look at how expensive it is. And I folded it up and I put it in the trash. But there's no way I could do that. But yet, I knew that something was calling me. I mean, this was my opportunity to go. And so I was daring enough to believe in the abundant good. And do you know how it worked out in my life? The lady that was in charge of this whole thing called me and said, you've been suggested as a speaker. All I had to do was pay for my airfare to get there. I could afford that. So be daring enough to believe in the abundant good that's already been prepared for you. And my last one is be a beneficial presence on the planet. This is Michael Beckwith. Give your gifts. Boldly go where no one has ever gone before. I think that sometimes people get into the science of mind and they think it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me. And on one level, it's true. It is all about you. It's all about me. The powerful presence within us. There's only one life. That life is divine life, right? We're all living this one life. And yet, we wouldn't have been given all the gifts we've been given to hoard. We've been given them to share. You know, just like little children. You watch little children, how easily they share with each other. And in fact, I had this really amazing experience not long ago where I went to Chipotle because I was on Whole 30 at the time and they were doing this Whole 30 salad, so I thought, okay, I'll go there. And so as I'm walking from my car to Chipotle, I saw this young man who wanted some food or money or whatever, and I said, come with me, I'll get you whatever you want. And he says, I could get anything? I said, yeah, you can get whatever you want. That's what I said. So, you know, I let him go in front of me, and he got a gigantic burrito and, you know, a Coke and chips and things like this. And, you know, he said thank you quite a few times and you know, then went out of the store. And I got my stuff, and I come out, and I just looked around to see where he is, expecting him to sit by his stuff, eating. And I found him, I saw him down a ways in front of another store, sharing it with somebody else. And my heart just opened up so much because I thought, I've been thinking in watching politics, etc., how everybody is in this me thing and not thinking about anybody else. And here's a perfect example of someone who accepted some good and looked to share it with somebody else. So whatever we can do to be a beneficial presence on the planet. You know, Friday was Earth Day, which was, you know, one of my favorite holidays because I like being outside. And as I'm walking Katie, Catherine's dog, You know, we're finding, we were walking around Cutting School playground area, and you know, there's potato chip wrappers and candy wrappers and all this stuff. And so I had 2 bags in my pocket, you know, just in case I needed them for Katie. And so I decided, well, let's just be a beneficial presence, you know, and go and pick up the other things that are around as well. And it felt really good. And it reminded me of this thing I had seen on YouTube years ago, where there's a pop bottle, a plastic pop bottle, by a trash can in a mall, the food court of a mall. And all these people walk by it, walk by it, walk by it, walk by it, and finally somebody sees it, goes, oh, you know, picks it up, puts it in. And these people who were filming all jumped up and they cheered and they, you know, did all this stuff. And as I'm dropping my bags in the trash, I'm going, where's the people that are cheering? Which then led me to think, wait a minute, being a beneficial presence doesn't mean doing something to get something. Even if it's just accolades or gratitude for doing it. Being a beneficial presence is doing it just because you want to do it. So let's say this affirmation together, and then we'll go into treatment. The creative force of the universe has no limits. I am imbued with that force. What I imagine, I can create. What I create improves the lives of all it touches, both near and far. And I am grateful. Yes, I am grateful. I am grateful for the impetus to go boldly beyond where I've been before. I am grateful that there is a power for good within me that I can use, that I am using all the time. I am grateful that this power within me steers me in the right directions. I am grateful. How grateful I am to know that each one of us has that power within us to go boldly beyond where we've been before. And I know that in this short amount of time we've looked at what it is that makes our heart sing. So I know for each one of us that the opportunities show up for us to have that experience of having our heart sing. I know that what we focus on, we attract. And so I declare in the first person for each one of us that I am absolutely ready and willing to step out of the past into my present moment, knowing that right here, right now, I'm establishing my future. And I declare that there is within me the courage to step out and to be more, to do more, yes, even to have more. So I celebrate this with every fiber of my being. I'm willing to boldly go where I have never been before. And maybe that could mean a deeper level of self-love. All of our purposes, at the bottom line, is to love and be loved. So I know that I'm ready. And this is a good thing. It's a God thing. And so with a grateful heart, I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they are already so. I am already on the next great spiritual adventure of my life. And everything I need is here for it. And so it is. So we get to hear Jeff Smoller this morning. Yay, let's give him a hand.
So this is about being bold. Excuse me, far away and that's weird here. So let's talk about race consciousness and being bold. This song has great significance. In the 1950s and early 60s, anyone ever heard of Sammy Davis Jr.? He was headlining in Las Vegas with the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and yet he was not allowed to stay in the hotels he headlined. He had to stay in a poor black section of Las Vegas, and then he had to go to the hotel, put on the tuxedo, and headline for whites only. Not good. He had the audacity during the day, before going on stage, to go swimming at the Frontier Hotel. They drained the pool. He was bold. In the 1950s, Ella Fitzgerald toured the South, which she did in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, all the way to when she died. And she played for segregated audiences. Everyone wanted to hear her music. She was put in jail for that. Fast forward to the Beatles. In the mid-60s, when they were touring the South of the US, their contract said, you will play for segregated audiences only. They said, that's okay, we'll opt out. Well, they were so powerful that the management said, it's okay, we'll let all races in, and they could sit in the same room. Beatles were pretty powerful. In 1968, Paul McCartney was in touch with a black woman who was active in the civil rights movement. And he wrote this song about her.
Les does? Oh, great. Are you going to? Yay!
Get a
I
good
want to
like
hear the
Les.
words. After he gives that history, I want to hear the words. I don't remember all.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird, into the light from the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
We're all sort of blackbirds waiting, we've been waiting for this moment to arrive. Definitely. Thank you very much. So let's think about the offering that we'll be giving this morning. Maybe hold it in your hands or to your heart, or mentally hold it. And let's say this affirmation together. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses the center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. And of course, here's the slide for how to do it, how to give. And what I know is that for each one of us, we are eternally grateful for that one power and presence that is constantly giving. Whether it be money or love or adventure, it's constantly giving. And so I know all of us are grateful beyond measure. And I know that this center is definitely grateful. We pay the utilities, the salaries, supplies, etc., all because of the generosity of our community. And through them, the generosity of the divine. So we give thanks, wholeheartedly we give thanks. And so it is. So who would like to read our community statement of inclusion today?
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
You want me to come up there?
Yes.
All right.
So for those of you that haven't met her yet, this is Karen Blakely. She is a ministerial student who has just moved here and I'm really glad to have her as part of our community.
Should I take off my mask or no?
Sure. Whatever you want.
We, the Eureka and Ukiah Centers for Spiritual Living, are communities that celebrate diversity, foster inclusion, champion inner work, and create space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are communities that honor the unique emanation of God that is each person embodies and advocate with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are communities that bless each other, see sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners so that we may grow together and understand that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for being here this morning. I know that next Sunday will be fuller. Next Sunday is the beginning of May, and the theme for May is emotions. Da, 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 da. Our book group is reading a fabulous book by Brene Brown called Atlas of the Heart, which is about lots of emotions. And it's a gorgeous book. It has beautiful pictures and it's made very well. So this will be a good month coming up. So thank you very much.
We're going to play.
Let's dance some energy here.
Feel free to dance.
Thank you, Eureka.